Hi, this is James, and thank you for watching fuck it, I'm drunk. Hello, and thank you for watching our PG channel. This is James, and continuing my series about graphic novels and comic book related things. This particular episode is going to be about a series of trade paperbacks that I have called American Virgin. And this is really a bizarre comic. And I mean, I don't mean weird like girls, where just the situation is weird, where certainly it is, obviously. But this particular comic book is about a young dude named Adam. And Adam is a evangelical Christian, like one of these megachurch types, and he's also a very prominent spokesperson for abstinence until marriage and all that kind of stuff. And he's actually very successful. He's a television personality. He goes on these tours and has made a pretty good business for himself, you know, just marketing this idea. And so when the comic picks up, you start with Adam, who's doing his abstinence thing and talking about his girlfriend Cassie, who is currently in Africa doing mission work, and when she gets back they're going to be married. And he has stated many times that Cassie is the girl that God wants him to be with, the only girl that God wants him to be with, and only after they're married. So it's a very traditional, like, happy, cool thing that this guy's got going on for him and his girlfriend, and he's trying to get other people to buy into this. But all of that goes completely out the window whenever Cassie is murdered in Africa. Not only is she murdered, she's killed on camera as part of a terrorist organization's act who don't like Westerners coming into that part of the country. And so she's very violently killed. He finds out about it, and the term downward spiral doesn't even begin to describe what happens to this guy. And so he goes on this quest that starts out, she was beheaded, and he wants to just find her head. So he goes to Africa, and once he's there, he finds out not only was she beheaded, but apparently she was also raped before she was killed. So while he's out looking for her head, and this is all completely serious in the comic, but talking about it is weird. So he's trying to find her head. He has his sister with him, who's sort of a black sheep in the family, a lot more worldly and experienced than he is, and also runs into this mercenary by the name of Mel, who's helping him on this mission that he's on, like getting information, like he knows a lot about the terrorist that did it. And so, and that's just the setup. What's really going on in this story, though, is that while Adam is traveling all over the world and doing all this stuff and meeting all these people, he's going into situations that, like, he's got no point of reference for. Like, he doesn't know how to deal with the stuff he's encountering because he's never actually been outside his church group. And the authors really kind of go overboard on just throwing stuff at this guy. I mean, while he's out traveling the world, he encounters probably every bit of, like, sexual deviancy and experimentation that you can run into. And his whole world has just been shattered, and, you know, he's having to try to deal with that while at the same time dealing with this other stuff that he doesn't know how to deal with. And his sister's there to help him a little bit, but it just, watching the way this character evolves over time is a really, really cool story. And you do have the thing with the terrorists and stuff like that as sort of a secondary story, but honestly, near the end, like, I was more upset when they brought the terrorist stuff back in, because, like, they'd be talking about some really cool stuff, and then, like, oh man, terrorist again. Which I guess is how the rest of the world feels too. But it's a very good book, series of books. There's 4 of them if you get them in trade paperback form. And they are extraordinarily well written. This is DC Vertigo, so they don't shy away from mature subject matter or anything like that. I'm only telling you the basics of it because I really don't want to give anything away or let you know how it ends. But it definitely does end. And it ends on a rather strange tone, actually. But I don't know, like, you know, this isn't your typical comic book fare here, so pick it up if you want to see an extraordinarily well-developed character going through a lot of really bad stuff and how he deals with it. And I guess I'll go ahead and say that if I had one criticism of this book, this is just speculation on my part, but I'm not sure how much the writers of the comic book actually know about Christianity, just because there are certain things that Adam says, particularly later on in the series, that make me think that, like, these aren't things that a Christian would actually say or not know. So I don't know if the writer themselves didn't understand that particular part of Christianity or what. It could have just been the way they were writing the character. Like, I don't know. Like I said, that's just speculation on my part. But when it came up, it was a little bit jarring. Because I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. So, American Virgin, DC Vertigo, 4 trade paperbacks. I think they're amazing. If you don't, I completely understand not wanting to get into this, but I thought it was a really good story, and I hope you do too. This has been James with RPG Channel. I will see you next time.
Oh god, what would be a good